Lindsey Graham had a very different take from the rest of the American people when it came to Donald Trump's speech following the escalation of tension with Iran. Now that speech was a disaster, we covered it. In fact, the speech was such a disaster that words like Iadarola began trending on social media. And so get a load of how Lindsey Graham felt about the speech.
The president made a very bold decision today to allow things to calm down. This speech will be talked about long after his second term. This is on par with tear down this wall, Mr. Gorbachev. This is resetting the relationship between the world and Iran, just not the United States. The president said there's an evil empire in Iran that's bent on destroying the world, killing the people in Israel and coming after us, and I will no longer tolerate it. So this is on par with Reagan's tear down this wall speech.
This is on par with Reagan's tear down this wall speech.
Maybe he's only heard 2 speeches?
This is insane. And as I mentioned, words like Iadarola were trending because his speech was such a disaster that people thought he was on drugs. And I just want to show you another word that was trending, Sniffy McAdarola. That was also trending following Trump's crazy speech. But you know what? Twitter is not the end all be all. Oftentimes Twitter is incorrect about things, right? So
I've seen it.
Why don't we show our audience some evidence of this remarkable speech, and then you can judge for yourselves.
Your campaign of terror, murder, mayhem will not be tolerated any longer. It will not be allowed under my leadership. Our economy is stronger than ever before, and America has achieved energy independence. These historic accomplishments change.
Tolerated. And then the reason why people thought he was on drugs is because he was acting like he was on drugs.
Terrorist. Tolerated.
Okay, no 2 awkward drug-fueled sniffs were repeated. That was just a video montage.
Each one was a special snowflake, unique in its own way.
And by the way, so yesterday when we were covering the story, I mentioned how Iadarola was trending. And Iadarola, of course, is a prescription drug that you take orally. But I forgot that some people actually do crush it up and snort it. Because he's doing the sniffing thing as if he was like on cocaine or whatever, but he could be using.
So look, I think, I don't know what it is. I don't necessarily know that I buy any of these theories. I will say, for those of you who might take Iadarola for its generally prescribed purposes, I can't speak for everyone. We're not in any way trying to stigmatize that or anything. But if Donald Trump is taking something and is not making clear what he's taking, then that can be concerning, especially when he's on the precipice of launching us into a war.
Yeah, look, prescription drugs exist for a reason, right? But they get abused by people who shouldn't be taking them. And we don't know if he's actually taking them. It's just funny because that word was trending following his speech because the speech was unhinged. It was unhinged. The fact that Lindsey Graham has no shame and refers to that ridiculous speech as something historic and incredible is it's incredible to me that he would think that. Because here's the reality is he doesn't think that. The reality is he doesn't respect Trump. He doesn't like Trump. We all know he hates Trump. Even now, every once in a while, he'll throw out a little jab at Trump and make it clear that he thinks Trump is a complete and utter moron. But what Lindsey Graham cares about more than anything else is remaining relevant. In fact, he admitted so much during an interview with The Daily, the podcast for the New York Times. Please go and listen to that interview with Lindsey Graham. He says in his own words that he's nice to Trump now because he wants to remain relevant. And so he has no shame, none whatsoever. He is willing to go out there and use all these like platitudes and all this lovely language about Trump's ridiculous speech, full well knowing that it was nonsense.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.